Give yourself a reason to live. After 100 days in hardcore Minecraft, you might need it. Welcome back, my fellow gamers. This is Top 10 Gaming, and I'm your host, Amanda McKnight. Today we are going to be focusing on how to stave off boredom and stay alive in hardcore mode in Minecraft. Join me as we count down the top 10 things to do after you spend 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. After 100 days, you might be wondering what to be wary of, as well as looking for new ways to explore, have fun, and keep the game exciting. And hey, we got you. Check out these inspired suggestions and let's get counting. Number 10, be cautious. Super cautious. Just because you have survived 100 days in hardcore Minecraft doesn't mean you should get overly confident. Remember, in-game death could be lurking around any corner, and we really mean any corner. You could run into a mob or fall into some lava, and in hardcore mode, death doesn't just mean the end of your life, it also means the end of your entire world. Loss of all that hard work and progress that you've made in game. So first and foremost, continuing to be careful and play as safely as possible is still highly recommended. Surviving longer should mean you are more prepared in theory to handle any dicey situations, not mean that you have become more reckless. And before we move on to this next spot, just a quick reminder to give this video a thumbs up if you are enjoying it and want more Minecraft content. Who doesn't? Number 9, make an elaborate, detailed home. Another important thing in hardcore mode is to constantly find things in game that you would be sad to lose. Build yourself a home or home base that if you died, you would be super heartbroken to lose. Why? Well, giving yourself something to mourn will mean that you actually care more about the game and your survival in it. It's just psychology, encouraging you to continue to survive longer, ideally. Try to think of a home that is unique and majestic, something that is simple to start, as obviously you're gonna need a home to survive to 100 days, but that you can consistently improve and make cooler as the game goes on. How about an elaborate castle, a hobbit hole, something inspired by your favorite show or book or video game? Make it personal, make it accurate, make specific design choices that if you had to remake them would be frustrating and challenging for you. Give yourself a reason to live with your home. Just looking for those reasons to live. Number 8, create a map. As you progress, or maybe once you just have a good lay of the land after that 100-day mark, it might be smart to create a rough map of your world and the area. This can be time consuming, but it can also be fun to do, and when you are done, you can actually hang it up like near your computer or your console, whatever platform you prefer to play on. Knowing where you are is very important in survival mode, as if you get crazy lost out in the wilderness, away from your home where you likely have a stockpile of resources, it will make it harder for you to survive and make you vulnerable to the wild. Kind of feel like one of those survival show hosts giving you like all the tips about surviving out in the wilderness, except in my show, one of my best tips would just be like, don't get lost in the wilderness. But honestly, that's one of the most basic but important tips. Don't get lost. Also, if you don't already have, make sure you keep a compass with you in case you do get lost and you kind of need to find your way home, because compasses are super useful for that. And if you need to make one on the fly, it can be a little bit more tricky. Number 7, build more mob traps. By day 100, you may have already done this, but if you haven't, it's definitely a good thing to consider doing so you can avoid getting potentially destroyed at night outside your home. Mob traps will help to keep your home base fortified and safe for you, which may seem kind of redundant around your fortress that you built to, well, already keep you safe, but in the event that you arrive at home late or you feel like heading out into the night, this will help to make sure you avoid getting tricked, ambushed, and overwhelmed by mobs, and possibly killed in the process. Better to be safe than sorry, friends. Number 6, build a mob spawner. If you need to grind out some XP in order to get yourself to a higher level for future quests and accomplishments you are looking to achieve in the game, why not build yourself a mob spawner? Ideally, set up in a way that you can easily farm some kills and store your loot safely. This isn't too challenging to do, but is an efficient way to get you that XP you need, and can also aid in refreshing your gear if you happen to have the Mend enchantment, which is also a great thing to get into once you're sort of past that 100-day mark, or up to that 100-day mark. Number 5, build a home base in the Nether. I honestly don't think you can have too many home bases in hardcore mode, as you never know where you'll end up, and it's just always good to have a place to retire to. Even a small one to call home when you just need some shelter and need to wait out, some of the monsters in the night. However, when we talk about thriving and not just surviving in hardcore Minecraft, it's also still a good idea to consider constructing a home base in the Nether as well. Setting up a base in the Nether gives you the potential advantage of being being able to farm kills there more easily. And with the nether chock full of useful resources, you can see why this is a good idea. Number 4. Gather resources. This might be a basic one, but it's still important. Ideally, you are always going to be setting out to build something new. Starting new projects is going to hopefully be something you'll keep doing as you continue to build your world, giving you more and more reasons to fight for survival each day to avoid losing all of that progress. And what do you need to start new projects? Resources. Honestly, every time you return to your game on hardcore, you should kind of start off by doing a little bit of an inventory and then making a list of resources you will need for any future projects that you have planned. This is especially a good idea if you're taking a break from your game and you're going to come back into it later. This might sound like a no-brainer as well, but there are those who tend to undermine the importance of staying organized and taking stock, both in life and in games. It's good to know what you have and then look at sort of what you need. Also, you can really never have too many resources. I mean, this is Minecraft. It's very important to be prepared, especially when you play hardcore. Number 3, build a city. Never mind building a home that you love. If you want to get really involved and really love the building element of Minecraft, you might want to invest some time into building more than just elaborate homes and instead start constructing your own city from the ground up. You can build the city near your home or you can build it away from it. In fact, if you did end up making a map, you could even kind of use your map to ponder where you want to create your city and in fact perhaps create a whole world outlay on that. Also, creating a whole world in hardcore mode is a pretty impressive feat considering all the work that just goes into surviving in this game. And you'd be adding a lot more work on top of like just surviving. Though, is it really work if you're having a ton of fun doing so? I don't think so. Number 2, gather ancient debris. If you want netherite ingots, you are going to need that ancient debris. And unless you have some amazingly efficient ancient debris farm, it might take you a while to get all the ancient debris that you need for just about everything that you want to do. Especially if you were starting on, some lavish and crazy projects like building a netherite beacon. So once you are settled and you're looking for ways to upgrade what you have, pass the time, and expand what you can accomplish in the game, this is a specific and often time-consuming resource that you might want to spend some quality time farming. Just be careful when you do, because, danger. It's everywhere. Watch out. Number 1, get a dog. I mean, you might have already done this before you hit the 100-day mark, but it's just a really good tip, especially if you're playing hardcore mode. And what I really should say is tame any tameable animal that you can turn into your pet or potential travel buddy. While there aren't specifically dogs in Minecraft, tamed wolves are sometimes referred to as dogs in the game. So when I say dog, that's what I'm talking about. Tamed wolves or dogs are especially helpful in mob fights as they will actually come to your aid in battle, which is pretty cool. Just keep an eye on the elevation of their tail to make sure that their health doesn't get too low. If you're more of a cat person like myself, then tamed cats can also be useful pets as they will help deter creepers from coming your way. Creepers don't really like cats. Of course, if you are hoping to confront, lure, or fight some creepers, then you might want to make sure that you leave your cat at home while you're adventuring. Also, be warned, tamed cats are curious creatures just like real cats and still have a tendency to wander around. So they're not as easy to sort of keep with you or wrangle. What are some of your favorite things to focus on in hardcore Minecraft? What are some of your greatest Minecraft fears when it comes to survival mode? What are some of your dream Minecraft projects if you could do anything in it all the time in the world? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it is time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Unexpected Gaming Crossovers. Sunny Gaming comments, I see crossovers as a variation of promoting each other. Yeah, that's totally true, and I feel like a lot of gaming companies use them for that, and it helps them to kind of bring other people from a fandom that might not have heard of their game into that fandom and, make more money, which is good. Noah Dean shares Kingdom Hearts of my favorite crossover with Disney and Final Fantasy and original plot and characters, but I want to see a Mario and Sonic racing game, kind of like Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Games. I would also love to see that. I would just love to see some sort of massive racing game with a ton of properties in it, literally all the Nintendo properties, or yeah, Sega and Nintendo, tons of crossover stuff. I just love racing games. Darkstar Darren responds, my personal pick, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Also, I love Poker Night 2, even though I never got my Borderlands 2 bonuses. I'm so sorry you didn't get those bonuses. That sounds super sad. But I am very happy that you got to play Poker Night 2 because I can't even get that game and I want to play it so bad. I really hope they bring it back on Steam. That would be awesome. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and feels shouted out in a future video. This has been Top 10 Gaming and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you to keep on gaming on. Pew pew!